Hollywood's brightest stars hit the Oscars red carpet in high style on a spectacular sunny day. This was a Sunday anyway, in Los Angeles, as the movie industry celebrated this year's in films, and the A-listers brought their fashion game to the Dolby Theatre. The 94th Oscars Academy Awards came back with 3 hosts this year after 3 consecutive hostless years. Some of the highlights of the show included Beyoncé's opening performance, Ariana DeBose's supporting actress win, best supporting actress win, I should say, a moment of silence for the people of Ukraine, and much more. So let's take a look at this exciting time.
Oscars. I want you to tell these people where we are.
City of Compton.
Yeah, I think you can sing it like you mean it. Tell them where we are.
City of Compton.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Now break it down now.
And the Oscar goes to Ariana DeBose, West Side Story.
This is the first Oscar and nomination for Ariana DeBose.
Oh my God. Yikes. Okay. Oh my word. You know what? What is this? You know what? Now you see why that Anita says, I want to be in America, because even in this weary world that we live in, dreams do come true.
Academy Award. Oh no, it's time for the show. Young Tina's low, don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno.
Celebrating the 28th anniversary of Pulp Fiction, here are Academy Award nominee Uma Thurman, Oscar winner Samuel L. Jackson, and Academy Award nominee John Travolta.
Actors stay in character through an entire shoot, and some, well, they just never let it go.
Maybe later we'll have a $5 milkshake.
Yeah, how about a Royale with cheese?
See what I mean?
Oh, goodness me. For the latest on the just concluded 2022 Oscars, we are joined by Arise correspondents Nkechi and Kachi Offiah, who have been in Los Angeles this award season. Both of you guys, you've been grooving, you've been meeting all the stars. Kachi, I saw you this morning while I was just coming back from the gym, and you saw Queen Latifah at the back, and you were like, goodness me, I saw that moment. It was live on TV, and you predicted rightly. Coda, go ahead, Kachi, go ahead.
Rufai, I tried to control myself. Okay, I tried, because you see, I am a seasoned journalist, and I do this all the time. It's not a big deal. But what? Look, I didn't even know she was behind me, and apparently a couple of others had already passed. So when I saw her, I was trying to resist the urge to just walk up to her and just say a few things. But you have limitations, and there are certain things you cannot do at certain times, because that was not the time for celebrity interviews. They were just supposed to leave. Otherwise, I would have definitely just asked her a few questions. But it was good. She has great skin, and she smells really good.
The final winners of the night, the big winners of the night, Kachi. You predicted some. You were right in your prediction, actually.
Yeah.
So what's your general...
we were right in a lot of predictions.
Actually, I wasn't. I wasn't.
You know, for just Power of the Dog, you weren't.
Yeah. Well, general overview of the Best Picture specifically for these nominations is, we'll begin by saying that it is completely shocking that Apple TV Plus has just taken the position as the first streamer to win Best Picture. This is coming off the back of Netflix being nominated more than once. They've been nominated for various films. Alfonso Cuarón's Roma was nominated for Best Picture. That didn't win. This year, we saw Power of the Dog nominated for Best Picture. That didn't win. And then, out of the blue, Coda comes in. Apple TV Plus just picked up that movie from Sundance Film Festival last year. It wasn't an original Apple TV production. They literally just bought the rights to that film. And interestingly, maybe they had foresight, but it picks up the Best Picture Oscar. That was definitely a shocker. Lots of people expected it, but lots of people were shocked about it as well.
I expected it, so I disagree with you. And I predicted it earlier today.
You did.
Apple TV, they have a lot of money.
Yeah, they do.
They have a lot of influence. And so that helped push this underdog indie movie to the forefront. It pushed it up. It brought the conversation and the inclusivity as well.
Yeah.
The actors have hearing disability. Troy Kutzer, who we'll talk about a little bit later, is now the second deaf actor to pick up an award at the Academy. So when Apple is backing you, you will definitely win, I think. And again, they picked up all their awards for the night. They had three nominations,
they did.
And they picked it all up.
They did.
It wasn't surprising for me. I mean,
well, yeah. Congratulations to them, regardless. Though I'm sure Netflix is going to start thinking of how they can. I mean, it's.
Nkechi and Kachi, can you hear us from the studio here? Okay, I would like you guys to comment on what Chris Rock described as the biggest night in the history of television when he got that slap, from Will Smith after he tried to insult Jada Pinkett Smith. And I was wondering for a moment whether, the wife of the former governor of Anambra State and Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu were there, and, they had advised, anyway, I'm joking. But, I mean, could you comment on that incident and how it impacted on this major event?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Absolutely. So let's put this story, let's give it some context. In 2016, Chris Rock was hosting the Academy Awards, and usually hosts for the Academy Awards do this thing where, during their monologue, where they roast their colleagues. Roasting means that you just have to diss them, like literally insult them. And in 2016, there was the hashtag #OscarsSoWhite. A lot of people, celebrities, complained about the fact that the Oscars nominations list was not diverse enough. It didn't have enough Black inclusion, Latino inclusion, Asian inclusion. So it was just so white. So a lot of people boycotted the Oscars, including Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. So during Chris Rock's monologue, he goes on to roast both of them, saying that, oh yeah, by the way, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith are boycotting the Oscars, but that's odd because they were not even invited. So how do you boycott an event that people don't even want you at? That was hilarious. Nobody talked about it. It passed. Now, in 2022, G.I. Jane is the butt of Chris Rock's jokes. G.I. Jane, Demi Moore played a role where she had to shave her head. So Chris Rock says G.I. Jane Part 2, Jada Pinkett Smith, we're waiting for that, alluding to the fact that Jada Pinkett Smith has alopecia, which she has spoken about on her Red Table Talk series, that she struggles with this, and that's why she has a bald head. Now, at that point in time, Will Smith gets up and walks right to Chris Rock and smacks him over the face. Basically, from his acceptance speech, we can understand that he's just coming off the back of King Richard, a role where he was a protector, he was a fighter for his family. And he said that is one instance where art basically imitates life. So there's varying reactions to this, with some people saying that sometimes these Oscar monologues, they take it a little too far. And in that industry, you're expected to just giggle while you're being roasted. But Will Smith is saying that, and accept it, he's saying that that's not that's not fair that as a celebrity, he's supposed to laugh about that, but that's his wife, that's his family. Do not disrespect my family. But now others are saying that, Chris Rock could press charges. It could go really bad. But one thing we're definitely not going to see happen is Will Smith having to return that Oscar. Will Packer put together a fantastic show. And that also kind of reflects in him as well, because these are black men. So support your own. That was not the place or the time, but the sentiments that he attached to that slap are perfectly understood.
Was it a slap or a punch?
Well, I saw his hand like this at the end of it, not like that. So I think it was a slap.
I think I have an unpopular opinion about that. Yes, the joke went too far.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have made that joke, but you don't just walk up to someone and hit them.
Yeah.
Especially because black people have that stereotype of violence.
Of violence, yeah.
And doing that at the Oscars, I mean, yeah, he apologized and he asked that if they could have him back, because they might have to ban him and not invite him again to the Oscars. And there's been a lot of conspiracy theories as well out there saying that it might have been acted. I don't know why you would want to act
that was definitely
such a thing, dissing your wife, because some people are saying it had to tie in with his speech. It had to make his speech perfect. But I don't think so, because those tears looked real and he looked like he was sober about it. He really regretted his action, but I wish he could just have controlled himself, which is unfair to ask of him, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do.
Well, Nkechi was pretty Nkechi,
so personally anytime soon.
It was pretty striking for me that he did apologize to all but the person he actually struck. He apologized to his fellow nominees and the Academy. But what do you think of Beyonce? I think she was robbed, Nkechi. And Billie Eilish robbed her of her Oscar for Best Song.
You think she was robbed of the award?
Yes.
Okay, so earlier, I'm a Queen Bee fan.
You're actually a Queen Bee fan.
Earlier, I predicted she would win. I only predicted that because I'm biased. I love her so much, but I don't think she was robbed. Billie Eilish and Phineas deserve that award for their original song. So I don't think she was robbed, and I loved her performance. It was amazing. It's nice that she was nominated, but I wouldn't say she was robbed. They really deserved that award. I think saying she was robbed means they don't deserve it. And Billie Eilish and her brother did an amazing job. It's their first nomination, their first win, and congratulations to them.
Absolutely. And to be honest, a lot of the songs in that category, from the Sorgitas to Beyonce's Be Alive, these two songs, which were also they were the top contenders for that Oscar, they're very emotional songs. Yes. A lot of people, when you ask, because we did ask a couple of people what they loved about those songs, it stems from places of, it's Beyonce. The Sorgitas, they're singing about family. This is a Latino community. This is what we're all about. So when people talk about No Time to Die, they talk about the grittiness of the song. They talk about how this film is just the perfect way to just finalize Daniel Craig's exit as 007. And it's put together by Billie Eilish and Phineas. Not that they're not great, but these are young individuals. This is their first nomination and they took that home, so it's completely deserving. Plus Beyonce was all the way in Compton,
which was quite expected of her. I did not expect her to attend. I kept on thinking, how is she going to perform, because I sort of knew she wasn't going to attend.
Back to you guys.
Real quickly, did any African film out there make any big showing during the Oscars, because I think the last time an African film got out there and did win something was the South African movie in 2006 or thereabout. So did any African movie, I'm obviously sure we didn't get any movie nominated from Nigeria this year. What's happening to our own film industry? We churn out 2,500 films in Hollywood a year and we're not on a big prize yet. What's happening?
I mean, we talk about this every single year. Where are the African movies? What's happening? And like we said earlier, first of all, you will not be recognized if you do not submit, first of all, one. And to submit a movie for the Oscars to be shortlisted, the movie has to meet a certain standard, some certain criterias, some certain technical criterias for it to even be shortlisted. And in Africa as a whole, or in Nigeria, movies are mostly made for home television, and so they don't really meet those standards. Now, I'm going to use Coda as an example. This was an indie movie, an underdog movie, and Apple picked it up last year for over $25 million and pushed it, lobbied for it to the Academy voters. This is another aspect of having movies from Africa, from Nigeria, being pushed to the global scene. There's a lot of lobbying that takes place, a lot of influencing in the Hollywood spectrum, really. And we don't have that influence. We don't have that money. And so this is where some streaming services like Netflix, who's moving to Nigeria, coming. This is where streaming services like Arise Play come in. If we put that standard to movies in creating our original content and make sure that we have those criteria and actually submit, then we can have us talking about African movies, Nigerian movies being nominated at the Oscars. Like you said, the last time an African movie was won the international best feature film at the Oscars was all the way in 2006. A South African movie called Tutsi, and the director was even white. The other two African movies that have gone on to take that award were co-production from France. And you know, France has a lot of influence in Hollywood. They have a lot of power to push and lobby. So it's just a lot of factors that plays in from our part as well, not just from the Academy.
And to add to what she said, apart from the fact that there's lots of lobbying, the reality is we have made progress, let me put it that way, with regards to Nollywood. We've seen Netflix coming, we've heard about collaborations with Sony. Although it does look like these collaborations, these international collaborations are within a certain sect. It's not as widespread as it should be. And another reason is, for this particular year, there were 94 countries that submitted, and out of those 94, only 8 African countries submitted. Nigeria did not have any eligible submission for Best International Film. And what that would mean is the predominant language used in the film is not English. It's an indigenous language, whether it's Yoruba, whether it's Igbo, whether it's Hausa. We didn't have any of those kind of movies to even submit in the first place. So it also goes to ask, what kind of stories are we telling? Yes, we're partnering with Netflix. Netflix is churning lots of money into our industry. The last movie we saw Netflix bring out big bucks for was Chief Daddy 2, and we all saw how that played out. So
we have to get an apology for that.
Yeah, when we see how these funds are being dispersed, what are we using them for? How are we utilizing the various opportunities that are coming in? Because we have to start from somewhere.
Well, okay, very quickly, I wanted to ask the two of you. Will it be correct to say the 94th Oscars can be best described as a Will Smith show? Because, it looks like that particular incident between him and Chris Rock took the thunder out of the whole event. And then is there a lesson that comedians can learn from this? Because there are comedians in Nigeria too who crack some very untidy jokes. So are we likely to see situations where one day somebody will just stand up and slap Alibaba for cracking a joke? Over to you. But are there lessons from this episode?
Oh, I know. There's a lot of comedians that definitely could get that. I think there's a lot of them.
First of all, to answer your question, definitely can be said that the 94th Academy Awards was Will Smith's show. It's been Will Smith's show throughout the whole award season, to be honest. He's picked up his first BAFTAs, he picked up an AACP Image Award, and we've been talking about Will Smith road to Oscars, at the Oscars, and now after the Oscars, we're still talking about him. He made a show as well. Yeah. I've been reading comments online on Twitter, and everyone seems to be saying, listen, the only thing I'm going to remember about this Oscars is the smack that Will Smith gave Chris Rock. Yeah. And definitely, to the second question, I think this is a lesson for all comedians, Nigerian comedians, international comedians, just in general. There's just a thin line between making a joke and just making it too personal. Yeah. And stepping. I remember there was a year in Nigeria where Nigerian comedians just kept on making jokes about rape. It was just disgusting, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lesson to learn. You might get smacked.
But I don't think it was a Will Smith show, though, because there were so many other parts of the show that were completely enjoyable, like the performances. Megan Thee Stallion. I loved how they were able to just incorporate her into We Don't Talk About Bruno, that performance. So that was definitely one major highlight of the entire evening. And with regards to whether or not this is something other comedians can also learn from, to add to what she said, mental health is real. The pressure on celebrities, it's unbelievable. Suicides keep happening, and they keep asking, "Oh, what's the problem?" But when you put people in a position where they have to take certain things publicly and just laugh about it, not everyone can handle that. Alopecia is something that a lot of women deal with. A lot of women are ashamed of, and a lot of women do not have the courage to even admit that they have. You know, everyone just trying to cover it up with wigs, see how you could fix it in secret, and then Chris Rock goes on stage to make a whole joke about it. Especially when the person you're talking about is the wife to a Best Actor nominee. So all attention is now on her head. I mean, you're thinking, how would this affect her psyche? How is she going to feel about this? But oh, hey, they're celebrities, so they're going to be fine. So definitely, comedians need to pay attention to the kind of jokes that they tell. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be a bully to make people laugh. Back to you guys.
Talk about people that showed, bursts of excellence and consistency over the years. I was particularly, very excited when I saw Dame Judi Dench still get the nomination at the age of 87. Was she probably the oldest that got nominated for this year?
Quite honestly, this woman is one of those people that you just can't wait to see her on screen again. There's such reverence when she's around. I remember just shortly after I had seen Queen Latifah, she walked past and everybody just stopped. There was the whole excitement, but you're excited with respect.
But you're in awe, yes.
You're more like you're in awe.
I'm impressed.
So with people like her, she's had such a long and expansive career. So it's unsurprising that, she is still coming up on stage, because people need to be reminded of that. This is the 94th Academy Awards. I mean, they have been on for 94 years. They need to be reminded of where they're coming from. This is not Judi Dench's first rodeo at the Oscars. So she's just one of those people that reminds us of where we're coming from, where we can go, especially for young actors and actresses. A lot of the nominees for this particular Academy Awards were very young. Jessica Chastain for Eyes of Tammy Faye, Ariana DeBose, the first queer woman to win Best Supporting Actress, and the likes. Lots of young people. Watching her on stage, I think, was a major form of inspiration. And then it also reminds me of Betty White, because for me, I feel like when I think of Judi Dench, I also think of Betty White, in the sense that these are women. I think of Cicely Tyson. I think of women who have just paved the way for so many other people. I think of the role that Ariana DeBose won the Best Supporting Actress for Anita in West Side Story. That role has taken an award as well.
Yes.
This is not the first time. So it's like, there's so much that people can learn from seeing her on stage. And she has the energy, she has the looks, so why not? Back to you guys.
Okay, just before we wrap this up, give us your personal impressions. Are you guys having fun? Because I try to imagine the possibilities beyond journalism out there in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Okay,
are we having fun, Kachi?
First of all, it's what's the time? 1:30 here.
Yeah, it's 1:30 a.m.
Everyone's at the Vanity Fair party, and we're here talking to you. So we're definitely having fun. No, but seriously, it's fun. Even like you said, beyond journalism, it's fun. It's nice.
It's nice to interact with other journalists
We're grateful
as well.
to be here, interact with other journalists from Italy, from New Zealand, from all over the world. Interact with even the crew members that come with other media companies. Just seeing the preparations live. When we came, they were just rolling out the red carpet. After rolling it out, they put a sheet on it. They're putting up all the structures. And by the time you come the next day, more structures are up. And by the time you come yesterday, everything is set. It's good. It's nice. Yes, we're having fun doing our job. You know what they say, if you're having fun doing your job, you're doing the right thing. Well, we should be at the party.
I am hopeful, though. When I when I'm on the red carpet and I see the amount of work that goes into the production of the show, it just takes me back home, because as much as I'm in LA today, I will probably not be here in a week or two. And I'm going to go back home. I'm going to go for the AMVCAs. I'm going to go back to celebrate our own movies. And I just look forward to when we can have this level of quality, this level of organization, this level of appreciation as well for our own movies on our own soil, where we have other people coming into our own soil to celebrate our own art. That's another thing that really stood out for me this season.
We'll follow the greatest examples across the world. Thank you very much, Nkechi and Kachi, for the great work you guys are doing.